Alright, dear members, you are welcome. In this lesson, this is your teacher, Yes Gairin, your fine art teacher. So, at this time, I'm going to introduce a new paper, which is Studio Technology. So, you are supposed to have a theory book, or exercise or notebook. This syllabus of Studio Technology is not wide as such, because if we are serious, we can do it in one term, 1 to 2 terms, or one term if we are not studying any other paper. So if we are studying another paper, we can do it in 1 year. So now, because of this initiative, and it needs a lot of theory than practical, so I would like to introduce this paper, which is called the Studio Technology. We have been doing other papers like still life, nature, graphics, human figure. So this is the fourth one, which is Studio Technology. As a student who is doing art, who is taking art, you must do 4 papers. And the student who is doing IPS, you are supposed to do Studio Technology as a compulsory. Then other papers, you pick what is best for you. You pick other 3 which are best for you. Okay, in this paper we are going to look at craft of different kind, crafts of different kind, or artwork of different kind, like basketry. We shall look at collage, we shall look at printing, we shall look at tie and dye, we shall also look at tapestry, embroidery, and weaving. Those are the topics. So I want to start with our introduction, which is craft and studio technology. So that is our introduction. So under this, we shall define what craft is. We shall look at types. We look at factors to consider. Then we shall also look at elements of art and design. We also look at sketch in detail. Sketch and its importance in any artwork. That will be our introduction, and very important in this paper, because every word I mention, it will be said. I've started now. What is craft? It will be said in theory. This time you are going to write. So what is craft? I've been hearing you saying we are going for art and craft. Then what is craft? Okay, craft is a work of art which is skillfully produced by hand. It is skillfully produced by hand. For example, what you have been making, like shopping bags, like a basket. You have been making mats. You have been making shelves. Those are what we call craft. Any kind of work which is produced by hand, those are what we call craft. So there are various types of craft, and these are 4. So we categorize them in 4. Though we have basket, but we group them in 4. What are these 4? The first one is decorative craft. The second one is fashion craft, textile craft, then functionable craft. Let's look at them in detail. Decorative craft. What are decorative craft? Decorative craft, what are they? So decorative, it comes from the word decoration. Therefore, these are craft for decorations, for designing in a certain events in our rooms. These are decorative craft, like paper match, like flower pots, like flower pots for both indoor and outdoor. Those are all under decorative craft. Then we have papier mâché. We have collage. Then you can look at example of papier mâché on your screen. That one, that is what we call papier mâché, and it is made out of paper pieces. Paper pieces. We have them in our studio at school or at room at school. We have them. So when you come back, you come and see and try to identify these crafts which we are studying. Are we together? Okay, let us continue. The second one is fashion craft. What are these fashion crafts? These are like beads or necklace made out of beads. You can make a necklace out of coffee. If you have like a music, dance and drama, you make a necklace out of coffee. Then we have earrings. Then the modern one for earring, these are the beads which are manufactured from industries. Then you arrange them according to the size, according to the elements. The elements will guide you, like size. Okay, so you can view that image on your screen. That is what we call fashion craft, and those are earrings and a necklace made out of beads. You see this karamoja, the way they put on, what they tie in their forehead, the bangles, the bangles they put on, those are what we call fashion craft. Okay, so let's look at textile craft. What are textile craft? These concerns with clothes, the way you decorate your clothes to serve a particular purpose, like tie and dye, like a printing, like a batik. Those are all under textile craft. Like these bed sheets, the bed sheets with those flowers, those are under textile craft. So you can view that image on your screen. That is a t-shirt of tie and dye. Tie and dye. Tie, then you dye. Not dyeing this. Dye it is like a paste used for tie and dye. So the next one is functionable craft. Functionable, such as basketry, pottery, etc. So the example, you can view the image of basket. That shopping basket used for what? Yeah, to carry food from garden. Another one, it is to carry food from market. Yeah, you can also view at your right hand side. Those are ceramics. Those are clay cups, what we call ceramics. So we use them for tea. There are also these teacups, I mean teapots. Those are all under functionable craft. All right, members, let us look at the factors which we consider while making any craft work. Any craft, we said any artwork produced by hand, which is skillfully produced by hand. I can paint my work on a paper. I can shade my work. What we do in still life and nature, those are under craft. So that's why this paper, it is combining almost all the papers, but in theory part. Are we together, members? So let us look at these factors which we consider while doing any crafty work. When we say craft, that is any artwork. And any artwork, any work produced by hand. Let it be shading, let it be graphics, let it be basketry, painting, let it be printing. So let us look at these factors now. Okay, besides the elements and principles of art, to judge success and failure of any artwork, we have other factors, and these include, the first one is message. So as I've said, besides elements and principles, even if we are looking at this message and etc, which we are going to look at, but you must also consider the elements and principles, which are line, size, shape, color, tone, etc. What we have been doing in our still life and nature, human figure, we have been looking at proportions. Besides those ones, we have other factors. So these are what we are going to look at. So the first one is message. Message. The first one is message. So any artwork must have a message. You have to ensure that your work has a message. For example, in graphics, when I give you words if I give you a task to make illustration of given words, have you tried to bring out a message of the title which I've given you? So if I've told you, like, make a success card for your friend, wishing her success in her exams. Therefore, what is your illustration? In order to have a message of success, like in education, what are you supposed to illustrate? Like a book. A book has a message that this is all about education. If you illustrate there like pen, those are all under education. Are you getting me? If you put there like this cape of graduation, that one also, it is giving a message that under education. Then I can give an example of if you want to make an illustration. I've told you to make illustration of a hunter. What are you supposed to portray as your message? In order to portray the message, are you supposed to draw there a man digging? No, you are supposed to draw there man holding a spear, trying to spear like any animal. That one you will be portraying a message. What you should remember is art is a language. It is a language. You can use art by communicating. You can use it by communicating. There is no need of telling someone, this is this and this and this. And we have tried to draw this and this. Let your work communicate by itself. Let your work communicate by itself. It should be interpreted by an observer. At this time, I'm an observer because I'm the one who makes your work. Are we together, members? So as you are writing this work, remember it is the theory, and you want to explain about message. So you can just say, art being a language, one has to ensure that the work has a subject matter. Subject matter, those are areas of emphasis. Are we together? And it should communicate a message and should be interpreted by an observer. The moment an observer try or fails to get a message of your work, you will get nothing. When it comes to classwork, you will not get marks. Are we together? Let us continue with the next slide. We continue with the next slide, that is creativity. Creativity. What are those new things are you coming up with your artwork? The ability of someone to come up with something new. That is what we call creativity. It depends on how one combines elements and principles of art to create a unique and impressive composition. So under this one, you will just say this is the ability of someone to come up with something new. Full stop. No need of adding others. Leave others for examiner will understand, any art teacher will understand what you are trying to mean. This is the ability of someone to come up with something new. Or an artist, you can use the word artist instead of someone. You can use artist to come up with something new. So next, composition. What's a composition in art? Composition in art? Yeah, it is ability to put together, arrange, and organize elements of art following the principles of art. Composition is like coming up with something, you arrange them, you organize them, then you come up with something. You remember you are following principles and elements. So when you look at the way we set for you this still life and nature, we always have a composition. Like we always set like a tray. Inside we put a plate. We put there like a cup. Then we can put aside like a jerry can. What is that composition? So the composition there is roundry work. Roundry work. That is a composition. So that is the way you arrange together your work and come up with the way you arrange your work, put together and organize the elements of art following the principles of art. Okay, let us continue. Another factor we consider structure. We consider also structure. This is judged by looking at how different forms stand out to define the inner mass of entire craft. So structure, we relate it with the forms. If you fail forms, you will fail the structure. The moment you bring out forms, you will be able to bring out the structure. So structure goes hand in hand with form. It goes hand in hand with forms. Then what are forms? I normally give an example of a structure of a human being. Structure of a human being, the moment you fail to draw their hands properly, you fail to draw their mouth in the right way, you fail to draw their nose in the right way, you fail to draw their eyes in the right way, there you will have failed the structure. Are you getting it? Because the forms, it defines the structure. It defines the structure. That's why when you see someone with tiny eye, one eye which is very tiny, then another one big, we consider that person a lame person. Why? Because the forms are not proper, they were not properly, or that person was not properly created. Therefore, the forms, one of the form of the structure of a human being was not properly made. So that's why we call that person a lame person. Are we together? For example, if I give you like a cup to draw and put there a very tiny handle, you draw there a very tiny handle. Therefore, the whole structure will go wrong. So that's why we are defining it. We judge it by looking at how different forms stands out to define the inner mass. Are we together? Okay, let's look at the use of materials. Another factor is the use of materials. Then this is judged by the way one uses material to create a unique piece of art. For example, if craft piece develops crack, such would be interpreted as a poor use of materials. Like in clay or ceramics, if it develops a crack, if you are making your pot and you find there a crack, therefore we shall define or we shall interpret that this person did not use properly the what? The materials. Okay? Or the person did not follow properly the way the materials are supposed to be prepared. Another example, we normally give you materials to use in any artwork. Like we buy for you box of colors. Then if I bring on your table the whole box of the whole packet of colors, how are you going to utilize it? Does it mean that you use the whole 12 colors? So you have to pick like a 2 or 3. Then you leave others. You pick like a 3 of your choice. You leave others. So that is the proper use of colors. Are we together? Okay, let's continue. Another one. Another one. Let's look at finish. Once the craft has been created, it must be treated so that it lasts. Like a flame in graphics. Why do we add a flame? It is for finishing purpose, to show someone that you finished your work, like in calligraphy. If you don't put the other border designs, therefore you have not completed your work. So also in collage making, we put there a what? A flame. Like in still life and nature, how do we finish? We put there a base. Base is also acting as finishing. We rub off the other dirty work in order to be treated as a finished work, or it will even last for long. Then the last one is personal quality, or what we call style and individual technique. Your personal quality, yours, you, me as Irene. What is my personal quality in my work? What is my personal quality in my work compared to other people's work? How is my personal quality? Like you have a tendency of copying paste. So you will miss this marks of personal quality. You will miss this marks of personal quality. So try to bring something new which you are seeing is not in your friend's work. Members, we are going to end with studio, the term called the studio. What is studio? Studio, what does that term mean? I hear people saying, I'm going in the studio. Those who do music, dance, and drum, I'm going in the studio to record my song. Those who are doing visual art, like what we do in still life and nature, the fine art we do, I'm going in the studio room. Those are art rooms. In visual art, it is art room. Then for an artist, it is a place of an artist. Any place of an artist. Let it be ugly, let it be good, but it is called a studio. So for carpenters, it is called a workshop. For tailors, it is called workshop. But for artists, it is called the studio. Like these photographers, they have studio because they are also artists. So members, I beg to stop there for today. So revise your books, read what I've given you, write them, have organized notes, come back at school when you have my organized notes. Go slowly by slowly and understand. Okay? All right. So I've remained as your teacher, yes, Irene. Greet your parents. Bye-bye.